So, hello, we're here once again. I'm Dale and this is Lisa. So, Lisa, what are we going to talk about this week?
Well, I would love to talk about allow.
Okay.
To allow yourself to embrace discomfort. Are
Ooh,
you up for that?
I think I might be. I have a few things that I feel a little uncomfortable about. So, so you start with what this means to you, and then I'll see
Absolutely.
if I want to share my discomfort.
See if you're comfortable enough or
If I'm comfortable enough to be uncomfortable, yes.
so one of the things that I found in years of working with people and transformation and change is how often it can be very uncomfortable when you're going through a large transformation or even a small one. And the way we're conditioned is to often make it wrong. You know, we want to be safe. It's inherent in our DNA in our genes to want to be safe. And yet to be fully alive and not just hang out in that comfort zone means that you're probably going to be uncomfortable. And I want to read, I love Georgia O'Keeffe. She was one of my favorite artists. And this is on page 91 in the chapter on Allow, chapter 4. And she says, I've been absolutely terrified every moment of my life, and I've never let it keep me from doing a single thing that I've wanted to. And I just love that, the courage, you know, to embrace, to embrace the courage to be, to be creative, to have a vision, to move forward, to have a sense of, okay, I'm in this cocoon right now. I'm going through this change and I'm not sure what's next, but I sort of have a vision of the butterfly of my own becoming. And at the same time, I'm in this unknown, and it's this very uncomfortable place to be in. And I know for myself, because I've lived through so many different chapters in my life, and also in working with people, that a lot of times that creative tension that's inherent as part of the creative process, it's easy to get that confused with something's wrong with me, or this is not comfortable, therefore I'm doing something wrong.
I think we all go through that. It's interesting when you say about that feeling uncomfortable and the quote that you just read out. I can't remember which day it was this week. I didn't want to get out of bed, which is very unusual for me. You know, I'm an early riser. I get up, I go and do stuff. I take the dogs for a walk. And there was it was on Saturday night. Something washed over me that put me in a state of fear. And what happened, Lisa, was so I've got another doctor, hematologist appointment coming, and I'm very resilient. When something comes up, I look at it and I say, well, when I know what the results are, then I can change my diet, take this supplement, do this, and it's easy to deal with. And what is curious at the moment is I hadn't realized until recently something. My doctor had written a prescription for the consultation with the hematologist, which I had thought was the normal thing that's going on in my body. I have a thing called MGUS, so it's a overproduction of M protein. But he wrote something else, and I've just dismissed it, and it's like, I don't believe I have whatever this thing is.
Good.
And I work like that all the time. I truly believe that the body knows how to heal given the right ingredients. But in that moment, when you first hear something or discover something or someone tells you something, there is this little moment where you go into fear, and then whatever your mechanism of spiraling back into control is, kicks in. Saturday night, I was sat out there. I had a beautiful fire going. I was watching a great series on Netflix. I have my two furry friends next to me, and I got hit by this wave of fear, and it took me completely by surprise. And I remember going to bed on on Saturday, oh, I journaled and I journaled and I journaled. When I woke up the following day, I got up and made myself, after the dog walk and having breakfast and all the other things, I got up and I worked, and I was highly productive, and I got stuff done, and my mindset, my frame of mind changed,
yes,
because of that journaling. But that moment, or moments, it actually was probably about an hour of before I went to bed, I was like, oh my God, no, what's going to happen to my life? You know, so there's, and I think, you know, that was quite a big thing for me. But like you said, you know, they can be big things or little things, and it's in the moment, isn't it? It's like, oh, that was uncomfortable.
And what I love that you're talking about, Dale, is that self-awareness, that we have the power, the creative power to become more and more self-aware. So that, I mean, and that's the point, to be able to have, you know, like Georgia O'Keeffe was saying, I'm terrified all the time, you know, and yet I've never let it stop me from what I've wanted to do. And I love that, because we're both, you know, especially when we're going through any kind of change, which seems like we're going through changes. I know I'm going through changes all the time, at least on a temporal, horizontal level. I mean, there's a verticality of pure peace and eternal knowing that's unchanging, you know, and I'm in the world, hopefully not completely of it. But the point I'm wanting to make is that, you know, I think what we're both up to is helping people and helping ourselves in the process become more self-aware, more open, more alive, and more connected to,
absolutely,
you know, our nature and the nature of the planet. You know, so I think that there's just such a gift if we can give ourselves permission and allow it to be uncomfortable. Because if you stay in that comfort zone, you are dead. I mean, you're physically alive, but the fire in your soul is probably not burning very bright.
See, it's really, you know, we both use different tools. You know, I went to bed and I'm straight away, it's root chakra is fear. What do I need to do to ground myself? And, you know, I've got, you know, like massive, I do actually have big crystals like this by the side of my bed. And it's, you know, I always think, okay, so where in my body am I feeling that level of uncomfortableness? And, you know, my immediate thing is roots into the heart of Mother Earth, into my heart, into the heart of consciousness. Breathe, breathe, you know, bring a crystal, you know, whatever big monstrosity is by the side of the bed, bring it to the heart and really focus. And I think a lot of the time, so many people don't have the tools, you know, they don't have that I've gone into fear, therefore it's, in my case, you know, I think of things in terms of chakras. That's my chakra. Roots to Mother Earth. Breathe in that beautiful grounding energy. And also knowing, you know, I wasn't going to go for a walk in the middle of the night because there's all wild boar out there, but knowing that when I got up in the morning, I would put my feet on Mother Earth. I would be outside and I could ground in another way. So if people don't have those tools, you know, and even if they don't journal, you know, you wake up in the early hours of the morning and it's like whir. And you know, when that happens to me, straight away, you know, my tongue goes up to the roof of my mouth, onto the vagus nerve, crown chakra, 1,000 petals, close them down. You know, this. So when you've got the tools, straight away, I mean, when I say straight away, you know, the mind goes a bit crazy, and then you go, oh yes, I know how to do this.
Right, and you're talking also about symbolic thinking. You know, having tools that allow you, whatever the process is, you know, whether it's cocoon to butterfly or the chakras or whatever the tools are that you're using. I think it's so powerful for us to access our intuition through symbolic thinking. And one of the tools in the Cocoon to Butterfly original book is about creating a sacred space for your transformation. And I love that you pulled up a crystal. So one of the things that we do is create a special space, like an altar space, but for you, who you're becoming. So I've done that. Um, I've inhabited the smallest room in our house that was a shared room with my husband is now becoming my place. And I've just created for my vision for January. I just created I brought all of the sacred feminine statues and all the things that call to me, and I put it in that place. So, like you were talking about, Dale, putting your feet on the ground in the morning when it's safe to go outside and the boars aren't chasing you. Same way for me, when I can go back to that altar of the butterfly of my own becoming that I've created, I can feed it with flowers and so forth. In fact, this orchid, and this one's just opening now, is on my altar, and every day I look at it and I tell the flower, oh, I love you flowers. And I look at those little buds that are opening, and they're the same buds of consciousness. That's the consciousness that's flowering, like the lotus petals, So I think we all have our way of
course,
like Rumi talks about, kneeling, and we have 1,000 ways to kneel and kiss the ground. So we all have these incredible tools that are available to us. And the idea that I think I'm so passionate about, and we both are so passionate, I think, in our own, languages of what we teach, is about practice. Take it into your daily practice. Change just a small little thing, like you spoke about putting the tongue on the roof of your mouth to connect to the vagus root. Or if you're listener right now and you finish this presentation, turn it off and go someplace in your home and just take one object that has life in it, that has beauty in it, and bring it to a special place. And that's your special place of your dreams, of who you're becoming, your magic, and just honor that. Make the move, do the practice, the small, just take 10 seconds or 2 minutes to do it.
I think, I in my bedroom, I have a chest of drawers, and my altar sits on there. And I just this week I printed out a picture of all the chakras, with the yin and yang and all sorts of stuff. And I've intuited which crystals go on it. Another thing on my altar is I have a plant pot, and I've written my perfect day.
Yes.
And I've planted my vision and put it in my earth corner.
I love that. I love that.
Surrounded it by coins, rather than notes, with coins, because that's again, money and abundance is root chakra.
Yes.
But all of those symbols,
yes,
helped us to connect to that, like you say, who are we becoming?
Yes.
And to reminding ourselves that we only have to do something very little. I mean, I'll sit with just a little crystal and just, sit and think, whatever draws me when I'm in those moments of, oh, what is going on? I need to hold. So what have you got? What show?
I'm sorry, this broke, but I have this passion. I have a collection of artwork that I've created over the years that's called When Life Breaks Apart, Make Art. So this, interesting. So
it's even more broken.
The wing just broke yet again. You can see it. But I have glued these back together, and this will be my art project. This will be my art project when I get off the phone, when I get off the Zoom, the internet with you, Dale. I'm going to reinvent this. So life is constantly breaking apart. Here's an amethyst. This was a single earring. I lost one of them, but I saved this on my sacred space so I would reinvent it again.
Perfect.
A pen, that I covered with silk and thread.
Yeah.
So we have such power as authors of our lives, as using our creativity to make something beautiful, to let the soul sing. So
do you know what's lovely about what you've just said is when you're in that space of feeling uncomfortable,
yes,
to actually see, when you've just shown me that pen, that reminds me of making like a crystal wand. And
yes,
then what that triggered in my mind is when you're feeling uncomfortable, don't
yes.
go and do what you normally do. Do something creative.
Love it. Yes, yes,
So,
yes.
so you know,
Two wings, two wings. You and
hang
me.
on. Where's my,
That's brilliant.
hang on, I can't even do my butterfly today. My brain is my brain
Dale,
my brain. There
yes,
we are.
yeah,
There
I
we are.
say yes to your dreams.
I
Two
can
wings
do it. I can do it. I can fly like a butterfly.
on one beautiful body of life.
But you know, when you're feeling like I do a Saturday morning online art class. When
Yeah,
you know, the lady who teaches it is a wonderful artist, and I know you're an artist, and I'm not, but I love.
you are an artist.
Well,
It's
I
a
love sitting with the canvas and just splodging stuff on, and then she looks at me and she's like, "You're staring at your canvas," and I go, "I know, I need to throw it in the bin." Show it to me, and then she'll give me a suggestion, and but it's actually meditative. So for
yes,
me, I'm not, I am creating art of a style, but for
absolutely.
me it's a way of chilling and getting away from the week and doing something very different. So when you do you know, like when the end of the week comes, you know, it may have gone well, it may have not gone well, do something creative in those moments where you just think, I don't like this. Do
I love
something
that.
that is
Yes. And I think you brought something up very good. This broken, I just want to break it apart one more time. So get out of your head. Okay. So this was like this, right? Get out of your head when you're in fear or you're in discomfort, right? And I think it was brilliant what you said, Dale, about do it differently. So bring it upside down. You know, if normally, I know a lot of us will, you know, eat or watch too much television or what it is to comfort ourselves. So I think, and you have so many tools, Dale, in your programs for tapping into the heart. So I think, how can we just stop for a moment and let go and just tune in? What wants to happen now that's different? And allow the discomfort, but also, know that the creative tension is there because something is wanting to happen, and this larger part of nature takes care of itself. Like you've spoken about how the body, is amazing. We can trust it. It will heal.
it will.
So I think as we conclude our dialogue, I think that it's such a powerful thing to feel it and then to be self-aware and to create. Maybe you have an inner listening or a seeing or a feeling that wants to come through, and allow yourself to do something different.
Yes.
So I'm going to put this wonderful thing back together, and maybe for our next session, I'll have something new. That's my commitment. So
What am I going to have new for next time? I don't know.
This is also, I'll have to show the viewers, this is a crystal. I got this in South America when I was there on visiting more people in the Amazon. So this is all going to come together in a new configuration. I promise you. I promise.
You know what I would love to really make? Years ago, I bought some rolls of something called Mod Rock. So Mod Rock is the stuff that you use if when someone has their arm in plaster or something like that.
Yeah.
And I bought it to Spain with me. And when I came here, I discovered you could buy rolls of like really fine wire. So I've made a couple of pictures because there was like I had a whole load of leftover frames. So I've got I sat one evening making the word love out of like this really weird whatever.
Wonderful.
What I really fancy doing, and I won't have done it by next time we talk, with the Mod Rock and with the wire, I want to make some strange shaped doggy sculptures of my 3 dogs. Well, I've only got 2 now, but
I love it. Okay, well, I love that vision. Yeah, and it just strikes me again, I I spoke into the possibility of having this next time we meet as a sculpture, reassembling it. And whatever wants to happen with you, but I just see that there's such power in the body between us, the spaciousness in the we consciousness between us holding the vision. And I know we do that in our online, live courses and work with people, is we hold the space. So to that wonderful womb of holding the
womb of creation.
Yes. So I think we're going to come to a conclusion soon. And I want to thank you, Dale, because you're so fun to play with, and I'm so happy that we're creating this dialogue.
It's such a shame.
In California.
I was going to say, it's such a shame we're 6,500 miles away, because we could end this and go and have a nice cup of tea and a slice of cake somewhere, but we can't, and it's different time zones, but we will one day. So everybody, Lisa, where can we find you?
Right here. I'm right here. Go to my website, lisalongworth.com. You can go on Amazon for either of the books. Really, I just want to send my love to any listeners now, because it's such an exciting time to be alive. And I'm thrilled to have this amazing partner and rather than a partner in crime, she's a partner in creativity. Creative
consciousness. I love it.
Creative consciousness. Darling Dale, tell us about you. Where can we find you?
So you can find me at daledarley.com. You can also, I've got these 3 beautiful little, they're ever so simple, like journaling books. You just flip them and then pick a quote. So I've got those, but coming out, well, probably January, but maybe December. But coming out soon is I have the first of my chakra journaling books, which I'm super proud of. So there's, there'll be the book, the course, the live coaching, very similar to you with your books and your live coaching. So so you can find me at daledarley.com, and we will see you next time.
And don't forget to do something different when you get off the phone. Create a space for your soul.
Yes, go and get some coloured pens and scribble something. Do something different.
Soul scribbles.
I love it.
Stay in love. Peace.
Was that live long and prosper? That I can't remember what that's off. I
don't know, but we're
Star Trek. Anyway, live long and prosper, and lots of love, and we will catch you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.